a chart, and it's like on the borderline of female and male, and I thought there was like a tie between the demographics from other states, like UK, Canada, United States. United States was lower than the other two. It's just because I got doxxed by someone who tried to make it seem like I was redundant outside of the house in terms of having the wireless carrier that in time back then. This is I communicated with Evan during the whole duration of 2006 all the way up to 2010. He took a photo of me, and I just have to go and get harassed by people that he knows without realizing they fucking had the same high school as them. And he has the Shawnee mission. I should have kept that BlackBerry phone because it had everything. He threatened Evan's dad more than I could ever threaten him. Be it that, and it had him caught off guard without realizing it was Evan on the phone with the guy or whatever. And he had all that on there still, and the phone, I'm surprised it still works because it's from 2010. I don't talk with him anymore because he fucking acts like I was eating healthy, like unhealthy food, and eat whatever the fuck that you have, whatever the heck you have enough to have to make something, or fucking have to eat. You have to eat something. They told me to eat 3 times a day. The only reason why I'm playing this Call of Cthulhu game because it goes forth and how exactly how stuff is in terms of. There was an Xbox game that was made by 2K Games.
Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
No matter how they made for Trip Hawkins' last name on a developer that was lesser known that remade this, that the game was in such...
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Good regards back then.
He was a well-respected
having to go forth and play this on a discounted.
I don't understand.
This buy stuff is discounted, and whatever the heck else was at the point in time wasn't that much anyway to have it been.
Why were they buried here?
Something that would get you to get in trouble if you say it's only fans or having to go forth and not having to been duped yourself in terms of stuff they say. Isn't right themselves to tell you something and then go forth and act like it never happened when you have photographs, gaffs, audio of the gaffs.
Please give me a minute.
Gaffs is like a video manipulation.
What kind of deranged individual?
Like having a set photograph, maybe like 5 or 10 photographs in one set that can make
Silas doing such a thing.
A short film without having the notion of having done that many times over on an iPhone phone.
Lord.
And that LG phone was from back then. I talked with Andrew on that Resident Evil playthrough. Was logged in originally made and then didn't have anything bad on my iPhone. I mean, I didn't really do anything at all. Like, you would think like they had a bunch of CPT or whatever the heck, that hemp oil stuff.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh.
They kept sending me hemp oil shit, and if they go back and forth
Poor
and see
kid.
that the majority of it is hemp oil stuff.
Poor kid.
They can't go forth and say all sorts of crazy shit to a person without realizing that the phone itself isn't tampered with, and those games that I played on there, fucking Sega Dash, and that were by normal means of having been just basically having downloaded it.
I'll have to find another.
And just played it through normal means of just basically being COVID outbreak during that point in time. 2019, 3 years. 4 years now, because it's 2022. I have receipts in that on TikTok, because they can't go forth and say anything about someone else when the other guy doesn't have they can't go forth. The guy that wouldn't let the other dude that saw material locks guys at me. They're fucking psycho. That guy's more disease riddled than me if he doesn't have energy.
This entrance is still in use.
I'm not gonna go in something when they fucking are bored enough to have.
You are trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. Let's talk calmly.
It is like this.
I'll show you how we have it out
the
on
other
dark
one,
water.
The old Xbox console on glitches on the warehouse part where you're going through
Give me that
shaft to go back and having to play through.
Control yourself, old man.
You've got guts, you little bastard.
You and I have got some talking to do.
Understood. I'm listening.
The police report describes a domestic accident, but Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his
I
daughter.
knew we forgot fucking
I just
high
need to
score
see
on
where
every
the fire
game
started.
I fucking had
No,
downloaded via
I
the
can't
App
let
Store,
you in.
Sonic
The mansion
Dash,
isn't
the
safe.
Mario Kart,
That's why you
and
barricaded the
fucking
entrance.
Mega Man game.
That's right.
With normal means of
And
having
this door?
demonstrated from the
It's
beginning to
locked,
the point now.
and I make sure
They
it
can't go
stays
forth
that
and
way.
make it seem like you're redundant. I never heard
The
of
sooner
such a
I
thing.
carry out my investigation, the
Right,
sooner
they
I
fucking
wrap
make
up the
it seem like
case
the
and
person was
return to
knowing what the fuck they
Boston.
were doing when they were
After
able to
which,
demonstrate that
never
stuff.
hear
This is
of me again.
demonstrating that I had proof of
I
it.
like the sound of that,
Psycho,
but
to
I
turn
have
around
a
and
better
make it seem like
idea.
you're redundant.
You leave right now, and you never come back.
Silas! Pierce! In God's name, what are you doing?
Officer Bradley, this hood was trying to break into the mansion.
Do something, Bradley, or this story will have a nasty ending.
I vouch for him, Silas. He's working with us. We have reason to believe that someone entered the mansion and stole some paintings.
Impossible. I would have seen it.
Better safe than sorry. Now let us in. I promise to keep an eye on this one.
Okay then. I'll leave the key with you.
They didn't drop
Could've
out
told me that
anything.
earlier,
They just say fucking have
Let's
no
see what
way of
more
doing
I can
that.
learn from
Person Raggedy saying there isn't a fence large enough to jump over back then in his inauguration when you have outside with graduated
now?
middle school with a wee bit education. Fucking psycho. That's the most craziest shit to even accuse somebody of murdering somebody when
What
I was
now?
with your cousin still in high school. Fucking
we
in and
end
out
it?
until 2009 or 10. Had the proof of stuff. They can't go forth and say something, but I was like 19 then. You have no notion
Now
of how
that you
to
finish your
them
fun and
even
games
try
with
to be
Silas, we can't
erupt by
perhaps
stuff you
inspect
have
the mansion.
evidence on. They get
You're
mad
right,
for
Rob.
showing
Let's
proof
go.
of something. They turn around like that Mass Effect game with that Siren character being able to mock somebody. They know I'm the same person if the fucking height was the same stuff with the Polaroid. They're fucking psycho.
Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you.
For demonstrating fucking evidence before they could say something weird like that, having it on there. How the fuck do they do even? That's the most crazy shit for them to even say crap like that. I like that Camelot 331 guy. Fucking, you have a job in the fucking high school years. You still have the ability to fucking have proof of stuff, even if they say anything else. You have the fucking knowledge of fucking having the proof and evidence and being in yearbooks and shit in high school years. I know I'm the same height as the fucking photograph, so how the fuck are they gonna say that was the most craziest shit for him to even do that?
Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
Yeah, Aunt Frances really did fucking retire from the police force. If my shit is how her shit is, then they can't go forth and say it's fake when you have photographs, and you can't supposed to have photographs showing writing grants and shit in the place of
The
employment,
Last
and it says
Supper of the
classified,
Hawkins.
and you have proof
What does this tell me?
of all that. In a place of employment anywhere back then, you weren't supposed to show off photographs inside of it, and they still took photographs as groups.
What kind of
And
meat
all that
is this?
stuff's on Ancestry.com, and they can't go forth and be duped by someone who doesn't even remotely look like me, has a Sonic hat, has a different dresser, has no notion of having gone through what I've gone through, which is crazy. His
This
name is
place is for the
Salvatore, my
head of
name is
the family.
Ortega, and when that
Charles
Vasquez guy died, they had made sure you only have a first, middle, and last name. And that freaked me out, even them demonstrating the first, middle, and last name on a person. I have him fucking on caller ID, fucking having mom call us and having said when hell turned over. If that was the other guy, I wouldn't have put that down or even have kept the fucking caller ID.
The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor.
How does the VA give a woman that didn't serve in the service a fucking free wedding, and having 3 people that were in the fucking service with the photograph that I demonstrated an Army recruiter guy doesn't even get a free wedding?
Sarah Hawkins' plate.
I don't understand that.
Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Now, one more can get in trouble for having hired somebody to fucking hit me upside the head with no apparent reason of having it done. That's like hitting a fucking mail post office fucking worker. If you ran grants and have proof of it mailed to you 2008, he can get locked up himself. He ain't really anybody but a fucking creepy guy. They're all above the law thinking they're fucking cute and funny, and then if you do something about it, they go forth and try to fucking blackmail you off what's on your phone via text and shit. They can't even go forth and do that because it's fucking been weird with the person anyway. You try to run away and basically state that it was basically having no notion of knowing who had your back because they don't write you on Facebook saying, hey, we were going to help you out, or on YouTube saying they want to be a collaborator with you on a video but don't want to write it under there or write something completely different or be odd with you. I barely had Evan and Andrew on those videos, and I didn't really want to show them in that because I knew that the
Let's see if I can
guy
find
tripped up and did something that he wasn't supposed to anyways. But
But it was already too late.
what was given the facts and what was actually occurring was 2 different things. He was basically stubborn for having no notion of being able to mock a person with
someone
proofs.
escape the fire?
He saw all that shit. He was in there with the fucking diploma up on there. There's no way they can go forth and say it's some other guy that doesn't have no fucking asshole of a fucking way of knowing that being able to do creepy shit to people.
Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How?
How the fuck they make fun of this EA fucking guy, the Trip Hawkins last name on a fucking developer that's lesser known? They made fun of a lot of people. They made fun of other people's last names too on these video games. So I'm not gonna go forth and say it's all bad, but
Did it stop at the time of the fire? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn?
I don't look up strategy guides, and there was no strategy guide at the point in time of having that
The child's
cyberpunk
corpse
game.
left a trace. Where are the others?
Didn't drop out anything.
They had a fight.
2008. That'd have been too wild.
Why?
If you have proof of stuff and they fucking go forth and act like they're the most creepiest people themselves for saying slanderous shit about a person without having... They would have been 4 fat guys in a lowrider car then, because at the time I was more chunky. If that was the case.
This was a fight.
There was 4 skinny guys probably in a fucking goddamn car that doesn't match the one at the time. That's so crazy shit to even claim something. There had been 4 fat guys in a fucking lowrider car if that was the case. There were skinny people. I don't know how the fuck they were able to do that. I wasn't even around that shit. Wouldn't even know where the fuck the guy was if he was signed. He would have been at a fucking faraway place, nowhere near whatever the fuck. And I was with Evan at the time. Evan kept mocking that Paul Garcia guy too.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
That guy had the ability with his relatives to have animal porn on their fucking email attachments. And for whatever reason, Evan had the ability to go forth and look at their emails like that and discover that.
Well, of course.
Me and him didn't even realize they were into that shit, that bestiality shit. Bestiality is when they fuck an animal.
Well, that must have been a lot.
That Microbuyer guy made fun of that shit via a parody saying there's animal printing on his fucking hard drive.
Charles, most probably.
That's pretty thin. Who says that bottle had to
Nah,
be
I'll
there for
fuck that guy who even hung around that Mike Lopez and me if he didn't like any of this shit and got angry because they fucking made fun of him for whatever the fucking reason.
What's your theory?
I was a family do that shit to a person that was supposed to be related to him.
Sure of that?
They all
There's only one way to be sure.
Ali G shit where they fucking stay unlucky and he fucking got out of it somehow. Parody of the shit that is really fucking how it seemed.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
I log in and off of it because they can't go forth and just fucking log into something that they see somebody else besides jet black hair. Then they know I never dyed my hair any other color or fucking had it to where if I did dye my hair many different colors, they could have said I was somebody else, but it'd be different if I had green,
An
black,
original
blue,
edition of Mary
orange
Shelley's
hair and shit and fucking. They can't go forth and do that creepy shit to a person.
It's quite a building, don't you think?
That's why I feel I have
You know
the
that the
people that fucking have dyed color hairs and shit be able to do that via streams and that.
What do you know about Charles Hawkins' activities?
Well, not much, to be honest. We all assumed the Hawkins lived on Charles.
There's 4 skinny people in a car that murdered John Paul Garcia, from what I gathered. Or how many people fit in a fucking car anyways? 4. There's 2 passengers and 2 backseat
Melville's
fucking
classic.
chairs.
The epic.
They can't go forth and say it was 4 fat people. If that was the case, that'd be weird.
Mandatory
I was
reading
that
for
shit.
any
It was a
whaler,
cul-de-sac.
I guess.
That's why I said that the guy's lyrics said how high or wherever it goes, and that the car hopped over whatever the fuck and didn't go drive around. From my understanding of video
This
footage.
piano was in disrepair.
But there was footage of it. There was 4 fat.
Looks like the
they can't say
Hawkins
there was
kept
4
it
fat
more
guys.
for
There's 4 skinny
decoration
guys.
than for music.
I understand that. They can't frame a person like that when they fucking have no marital themselves, of having no shame, having
This piano
been
was in
fucking didn't like their own family themselves.
Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music.
Didn't drop out anything. It was the same height as middle school photos, and that shit isn't fake when you have a diploma and you have photographs from a long ass time ago before they fucking
Greek
even
mythology.
say anything crazy to a person.
Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus.
We have all that on
The
there.
mother
When you
of
have your
Satan.
fucking immunizations, all that shit's on the fucking
Greek mythology.
computer at the fucking doctor's office.
Hecate,
You
goddess
can't
of the
fucking
dead,
have that for
daughter
it.
of Tartarus.
How
mother
the
of
fuck they
Satan.
make it seem all fucking this psycho. If people do that shit, they're on meth. They fucking try to destroy a family. I ain't afraid of this shit because a fucking army recruiter guy fucking had us there with the same fucking green striped fucking shirt with the same green fucking jacket that I had on with that fucking gathering of that fucking creepy boxer guy trying to make a mockery of shit. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Says the opposite shit of actual facts and that happened over stuff that fuck the guy who does that shit. It's fucking creepy. Doesn't even use his name on that Facebook because he has people that don't like him too. The way he does shit. It's creepy.
A child
Used to send fucking ass photos of fucking shit in the toilet to Evan, and he got mad at me for discovering that and having the evidence at one point off shit that he does to people.
Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain.
Here, that Mac guy said he fucking had somebody deliberately fucking in a slow parkway near the zoo dropped off there back then.
Sleeping pills.
And that was back then. He broke the law by fucking hurting people out of Chipotle in Marion, Kansas. He said all that shit right in front of us back then with the photographs of him playing beer pong with the guys. The fucking psycho. I wasn't a murderer.
What nightmarish vision could have inspired them?
Like that fear shit with Mark Wahlberg, but I'm not afraid of this fucker because I don't have a dog fucking door and they can't go forth and fucking do something because you fucking have evidence on him and he'll get thrown up in something. Dude's calling me overweight and unhealthy. He weighed 177 pounds too, and now I weighed at that point in time in that photograph 140 pounds. I weigh 177 pounds now because of fucking the shit that they fucking had beyond that medicine makes you fucking lose and gain weight.
What could Sarah?
I ain't gonna get thrown up in anything with fucking having taken insulin fucking as a deliberately fucking having been fucking poisoned or something, or fucking if you have COVID, they say you become diabetic. You become diabetic when you fucking have COVID, and they said that via CNN before I stopped watching it because it was pointless watching
20,000 leagues under the
fucking doesn't tell you the fucking exact truth.
About the mysteries of the deep.
Hear that John Oliver guy said something about Kansas watched the most disgusting shit, and they were trying to make it seem like they didn't pay a Time Warner cable bill back then when they was deliberately made that they paid it out. You don't get free Time Warner cable.
Dark out of history.
There's no way that shit was rigged to have it to fucking where you have to pay a bill and have a debit card with all the information given to them. They kept paying it over and over again. And they fucking loudly tried to claim that you have to pay something that they were deliberately doing in Kansas off fucking having dildos and shit, and they can't go forth and do that when you don't have any of that creepy shit themselves. Fucking psycho. I know that John Oliver video is still on there about Kansas watching porn as the state that watched it the most.
A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century.
Men drop out anything if you fucking have evidence in 2008. That's sealed and it has fucking no way of being tampered with. This is
Greek
classified.
mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla.
Like that Nick Swartzen shit when he's playing Xbox Live saying he's fucking having hardcore gay sex with people. And that's not actually the fucking truth.
Locked. Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve? This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold. It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why.
They can't go forth and slander somebody's name if they didn't fucking deliberately watch stuff that was on there. If that was the case, why didn't I have a firewall on it if it was fucking... I didn't download anything off the device that I had at the time. Didn't have
Sarah Hawkins'
fucking a bunch
agent was
of
getting
movies
worried.
deliberately fucking on a
Seems she
hard
wasn't
drive.
giving any signs of life.
And they can't go forth and do that anyway because they fucking have... That's just crazy to fucking... I don't know how else to explain it. John Oliver video is still on there saying that Kansas deliberately watched the most disgusting porn, and they were trying to fucking audit the state at that point in time in 2015 or 16, and fucking having to hear some creepy intercom shit. I don't even live in the state of Kansas, but if you use the hospital for any given reason, they can't go forth and act like they have the ability to stalk you. You have insurance for that reason to go anyway to a fucking care facility to fucking have nothing in your system at the
Bradley?
time.
Is that you?
That's why I was laughing hysterically, because the shit they were fucking trying to say was the most craziest shit to pull on somebody who didn't even deliberately take anything at the point in time, meaning medicine. I wasn't on any medicine back in 2016.
If you're right, we should be able to find clues among the Hawkins' personal effects.